Chris Maxwell, The Sporting News, here with former All-Pro running back, rapper, and boxer, LeVeon Bell. LeVeon, thank you so much for having the time to chat with me. How are you? How have you been?
Well, thanks for having me, for one. And for two, I feel amazing. I feel confident. I feel ready for this fight.
Okay, and that's right. You have your second pro fight coming up 21st with the Misfits Boxing 6 in New Orleans. So what are you doing this time to prepare for your second fight, coming off a loss from your first professional fight against Urian Hall?
Well, I think that loss taught me a lot. I think even in preparation, my training, conditioning, even my sparring rounds, I kind of upped it just, to another level. Because I know what that feeling is like when I knock somebody out, and I know the feeling was like when I lost. So, and that feeling when I lose, I don't ever want to feel that again. So, I obviously know I had to put in that work, and that's why I'm so ready and confident to show people how much better I've got.
And when you had your boxing debut, you made a splash, knocking out other fellow running back Adrian Peterson. So was it kind of like a reality check when you got in the ring with someone who has a legitimate fighting background?
To be honest, yeah. It's not like I didn't expect him to be good, because I obviously did, but I think it kind of humbled me in a way, because I didn't. It's not. I went into the fight obviously expecting to win, but when I didn't, I felt like the work that I did, I worked so hard, and then it humbled me, because I'm thinking like, wow, I ain't worked hard enough. Like, for me, they had to go in there and challenge him, because obviously I didn't come out on top. So, but it taught me a lot. When I watched that fight, I've been watching that fight over and over and over and over. I can't even describe how many times I've watched that fight. Like, I don't watch that fight so many times, just to learn from it. And I have, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I'm a special boxer. I feel like I'm a special boxer. I'm to the point where I'm to the point where I know what's going to happen before it actually happens. You know what I'm saying? And April 21st, live on the Zone. I'm going to put on the show.
And you've trained your entire life to be a professional football player, and then, of course, making the transition only recently to boxing. What has been the biggest difference, both mentally and physically, going from a team sport to now? I mean, it's you in your corner for a completely different sport. What has that transition been like for you?
The transition's been obviously a tough transition. It's been hard. But at the same time, football has taught me so much, and football actually helped me so much to become a boxer, just because the athletic, background that I have, being on the football field and being around like the top-notch athletes there is in this world. I think my speed, my quickness, and my timing are a lot better than, guys that I step in the ring with. And then mentality-wise, football helped me. I'm not scared to get hit, because football, that's what all we did was, I'm literally running into guys all day, so it definitely helped me prepare for boxing. It's just boxing is more individualized, so it's about how far you want to go, how far you want to take it. It ain't just how it is in football practice. Okay, we out there for 2 hours, 3 hours together, and then we're done together and we go to meetings and watching meetings. No, in boxing, it's about how far you want to take it. You don't limit on how many miles you want to run. You can run as many miles as you want to run. Nobody's telling you not to, so I got that mindset, and, I'm just ready to showcase April 21st live on the Zone.
Do you ever leave the gym, leave a rough sparring session and just say, I miss football? Do you ever really want to go back on the field, or is this your new passion?
Yeah, it's my new passion. I haven't. There hasn't been a time where I was like, dang, bro, I just want to go play football now. Like, honestly, it's been, damn, I want to get better. Like, every time. Like, even if, I have a tough day or it's really hard, you know what I'm saying? There's been a lot of days where it's like that. It just makes me want to get better, and that's why I take it and use it for motivation. Football, I got that in my rear view. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not really worried about football right now just because of the fact that I can't be if I'm worried about boxing, you know? So that's where my focus been. And it's literally been there since, I've been training since November 1st, since after the Uriah fight. I took 3 days off and I got right back to it. So that's all I've been focused on.
I've spoken with a lot of former football players who one of the hardest things they've had to deal with coming out of their football career is still being identified as a football player. Like that is their identity. So is that something that you still kind of struggle with too, being like, no, I'm a boxer now, or I'm a musician now? What do you want Le'Veon Bell to be known as now that your football career, like you said, is in the rear view mirror?
Yeah, it is kind of hard to shake that, title just because of the fact that I guess, Le'Veon Bell, the name, kind of came from football, and I was over there playing it for 9 years, But I think, I'm a guy who's talented enough in music, obviously in boxing, in gaming, other aspects of my life to where there will be other people who will know me that they won't even know that I even played football. You know what I'm saying? And that's my goal. Overall, I just look at myself as like, I'm like a public figure, like I'm not, just a guy who you can put in a box. I don't just do music. I'm not just an athlete, I don't just game. I love all these things, you know what I'm saying? Like, pretty soon I think I want to start like probably getting like and doing podcasts and just talking just because I feel like I like speaking to people and talking to people. I feel like I'm good at it. So that's gonna be something I want to get into also. So I just don't want to be put in a box, and I feel like naturally, as time moves on, and I'm doing good things here and doing great things here. People would naturally just let me out the box, and they'll start viewing me as, oh, he do music, he do gaming, he do this, do that. They won't just put me as the football player. But right now, it's kind of hard to shake that, but time will.
And as you shift your focus to music and boxing, which artist and which boxer do you draw most of your inspiration from for both of these new endeavors?
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Well, boxing, I think, boxing, it's hard to pick one. I'll pick two. My two guys that I drew a lot of inspiration from is Floyd and James Toney, and then and Roy Jones too. You throw him in there too. But music was Drake, Wayne, and like an old school guy. If I had to pick one, I'll say Tupac. And 50 Cent too, because 50 Cent was another guy too. Like it's hard to just pick one, but 50 Cent too. But those like the people who help inspire me, like in music, I guess in boxing, because in boxing, those are the two guys I would just literally watch. I'm literally watching every day, all day. And music, I'm listening to Drake all the time, listening to Wayne all the time. I bought my first album with my own money in 5th grade, 50 Cent's album. Like he made me really want to rap. So it's hard to even pick one guy for music too. So, but I guess those are the names.
So who would you say are the top 5 rappers in the game right now?
Alive?
Yes. On the charts.
This my one would be Drake. Then 2 would be I'm gonna go NBA Youngboy. 3. Man, you put me on the spot. Oh my gosh, hold on. 3. See, I don't know what everybody like, but I like Big Scar, even though he dead. But he's like, dang, only thing before you said I lie. Damn, you gotta put Wayne in there.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta put. You gotta put Kendrick in there. Dang, I guess I'll go with J. Cole too.
Oh yes,
but it's hard. It's hard. Like it's so many guys that you can throw in there. Like I hate doing the top 5. It's so hard. So many great artists that I listen to. I listen to everybody literally. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just hard to do a top 5. Like damn. But yeah.
Well, I want to talk to you more in depth about boxing, but I have one more football question for you that is a little relevant. Your name has been popping up quite often lately, given the contract situation around Lamar Jackson. And of course, you have a pretty infamous holdout story yourself from 2017, 2018. So looking at the situation surrounding Lamar Jackson right now, what advice, if any, do you have for him?
I just want Lamar to get what he wants. Like if he don't like the number, I just wish it was like a petition or something we can do, like to get away with the franchise tag. The franchise tag is really that's really a cheat code for the owners because if they didn't have that, they would be forced to pay him. They would be forced to pay Lamar. They would be forced to pay me. You know what I'm saying? Or you'll let me hit the market and, I'm saying another team will pay me or another team will pay Lamar. But he's in a tough position just because of that franchise tag. And they just signed Odell. They try to bait him with that. So at the end of the day, I feel like Lamar, should do whatever make him happy. You know what I'm saying? That year, what made me happy, I sat out. I wasn't doing what they, I wasn't caving in. I wanted to do what I wanted to do, and that made me happy because it's like, all right, I already done gave y'all so much, and I feel like, we had an agreement already the year before. And I played with the Ravens for, not even a whole year, not even a full year, and I see how Lamar goes around that building and what he do in that building and how he practice, and how he interacts with people and how he is in practice. I've seen it with my own two eyes. So the fact that they're not paying him is unbelievable. But, that's just the way it goes. And, I just want Lamar to, do whatever make him happy.
And did that whole experience make it easier for you to, walk away from the sport?
Oh, for sure. Because it's like at the end of the day, I don't know. I don't want to say the same thing, like something wrong or something, but it's like I just don't. Yeah, I just want Lamar to get what he wants. You know what I'm saying? I want Lamar to get paid. You know what I'm saying? Get whatever he makes him happy or whatever. And yeah, it made it easy for me to walk away. I'll leave it there.
Well, and moving to things that make you happy, I'm assuming you've always been a boxing fan, right? Like this isn't just like a newfound love. So there's a lot of really exciting fights on the calendar. Hopefully we will be getting more. But with what is scheduled for right now, which matchup are you most excited about heading into the 2023 fight season?
I'm most excited about the Tank Ryan fight.
Are you going to be able to watch that? Are you? Because that's going to be the next day, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna watch it for sure. I'm probably gonna be there. I'm probably gonna try. I'm trying to go to it. I'm trying to find a ticket or 2 or 4. But yeah, like if I don't, I'm gonna be able to watch it regardless. Yeah, I'm watching it.
How important is that fight for boxing? Because if you look at all of the divisions right now, especially the heavyweight division, these fights just are not getting made. We're waiting on the Crawford Spence fight. Yeah, and they are making it happen.
Yeah, people would be scared to make a fight happen. But the good thing about this, why it's gonna be good for boxing, and people don't say it enough, is because all right, one of these guys gonna have an L, right? So say if I don't even want to say one of the guys, all right, if Ryan or Tank Ryan or Tank, one of them got an L, they're still like one of the premier boxers. They're gonna fight maybe another undefeated guy, and they're gonna mess around and beat them undefeated guys. You know what I'm saying? Like it could happen like that, because of the fact that those guys are so elite. So that's gonna be great for boxing. It's gonna be great for boxing because not only will other guys maybe lose the fear of stepping in with an undefeated fighter, but an elite fighter, an actual elite young fighter will already have an L, and then they're still gonna have the name and the buzz to fight guys that's undefeated for championship belts. And, those guys don't have to take those fights, you know what I'm saying? They mess around and beat an undefeated fighter, you know what I'm saying? So now that undefeated fighter got a loss, and whoever it was still got the other loss. So it's great for boxing, like great.
Do you have a prediction for that fight? Because whoever wins this fight is going to be known as the new face of boxing with this next era. So no pressure.
I know. I've been so back and forth with this fight, but if I had to pick, like I'm like 50-50 for real, but I'm really like 50.5% and then like 49.5% in favor of Tank. In favor of Tank. Just like by just like this midget, just because of the fact that like when you box for 12 rounds, if you box for 12 rounds, you gotta versus a guy like Tank, you gotta be perfect because he can really just be lulling you to sleep the whole time. But you don't know when he's gonna come with his punch. Like when he's gonna try to throw the power punch and try to catch you. And he might see something, round one or round two, but he might not exploit it until round six or something. You know what I'm saying? So, but I know at the same time, I know Ryan Garcia has the skill and he has the length enough to, if he does box perfect for 12 rounds, he can win. Like, and I know he's able to do that. He has the skill to do it. So that's the only reason why I feel like I get the slight edge to Tank, just because like I feel like Ryan might one time just step out with his hands too low or something, or get too aggressive, and Tank catch you like how he did Rolly or something. So like I don't know. I get the slightest edge to Tank, the slightest edge.
Well, and another big matchup in the lightweight division that is exciting is the Devin Haney Vasyl Lomachenko matchup, which also just got made. So what do you make of that fight? I mean, Devin Haney has had really impressive career so far. All these guys are so young and they're really going to take over. So what do you think of that fight?
I love Lomachenko, like his skill, his feet, like him as a boxer, like he's like kind of ideal how you would want to like teach a boxer to look. But I got Devin Haney, though, for sure. Just because Devin Haney's younger, that jab, he's not about to get past that jab. He's longer, he's bigger. Devin Haney's jab is too crazy. Feet work too crazy. Devin Haney's one of them special fighters, and his IQ, he's smart. Mm-hmm. So he knows, like, when to throw the punches, and he knows not to get time. Like, he know how to do it. So, yeah, I got Devin Haney. Lomachenko a little bit on a little older age, too. He's getting a little older. Which I'm not down there. I'm not saying anything wrong with that because you can be older and still can fight. But I'm just looking at it versus Devin Haney. Like it's gonna be tough, but it ain't like Lomachenko can't do it because he definitely can do it. But I got slight edge over with Devin Haney.
Well, speaking of the old guys, the heavyweight division, there's not much action happening there. Like you said, they're just not getting these fights made, and because of that, there's just a lot of debate on what the actual ranking is for the top 5, heavyweight fighters. So I know you said you don't like making lists, but what is your ranking of the top 5 heavyweights right now?
Like my own? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. I'll say 1, Tyson Fury. 2, I'm still saying Deontay Wilder.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, 2, I'm still saying Deontay Wilder. Because I feel like Tyson Fury is the only one who really can get Deontay Wilder out there. If Deontay Wilder catch anybody else with them right hands, they're done. Then I'll probably go Usyk. All right, this is when it gets tough. I like Big Baby. I like Jared
Anderson.
Yeah, Jared Anderson. I like Jared Anderson at 4, but he can he can be up there. He can be up there. He's just young, but he can be up there. And then 5. 5, I'll say. 5. I say Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua looked a little better in his last fight. I say Anthony Joshua at 5. Like they that 5 spot is kind of up, but that 4, I like that. My 4 solid. That 4 solid. That 5th one kind of like it can kind of go because of the spot.
The only way to really solidify that list is if these guys start fighting each other, or else it's impossible to know.
Right,
so, hopefully we get a heavyweight fight in the books sometime soon. But then this one's a very controversial one, surprisingly very controversial. Women's boxing is on fire right now. They are getting these fights made, and they're getting them made for titles as well. But the internet cannot seem to agree on who the number 1 women's boxer is.
Damn.
So before I even give options, I want to know, like, who's your number 1?
Bro, number 1? Damn, I don't know. That's hard. That's hard to pick one. Damn, that's hard to pick one, bro.
I mean, you can give me your top three, but that 1 and 2 spot is extremely controversial. And of course, it's between Clarissa Shields and Katie Taylor.
Yeah. Katie Taylor, they both in there.
So if Katie Taylor,
I like Amanda Serrano too, though. I like Amanda Serrano.
Yeah, and of course you've got Alicia Baumgartner. I mean, you've got a ton of talent right now. Yeah. Sporting News has Clarissa Shields #1, Katie Taylor 2, Amanda Serrano 3.
Yep. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at that list. I'm not mad at that list right there. I'm not mad at that list. I feel like Katie Taylor's more of like the boxer, you know, like and Clarissa Shields, she more of like the brawler, like I'm gonna fight you. Like she more of the fighter, you know what I'm saying? It'll be a good fight. That's the one we gotta see. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I would love to see a Clarissa Shields just did an interview where she said that she doesn't feel like she needs to fight Katie Taylor to settle that debate, but I definitely I would like to see that one.
I want to see it. You know, people, the fans just want to see it. Like she might feel like she don't need to. Like I was waste my time, but like we just want to see it.
Well, in the meantime, we'll have to settle for Katie Taylor, Chantel Cameron until Amanda Serrano's hand injury gets better. Mm-hmm. But when you look across, you know, all this whole era of boxing, past, present, if you could fight anybody in your ultimate fantasy fight, who would you like to get in the ring with?
Floyd. Maybe that can actually happen.
I wouldn't count it out. I don't know if it'd be a pro fight, but it might be an exhibition
not a pro
fight.
Not a pro fight. It's like an exhibition fight or something. Yeah, but Floyd. I just want to see what it would be like to be in the ring with him. But I know he's like a little older now. But like, if even like, you know what I'm saying, like just Floyd. I just want to see how I look. I gotta see it. I want to see how. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I gotta see it.
Well, and then when you look at football players too, who do you think should be next to make that transition from the football field to the ring? Because, you know, you're not alone, especially thanks to KSI, Jake Paul, and, you know, these YouTube boxers coming on. They're recruiting the Frank Gores and the Darren Williams of the world. So who would you like to see move into the ring?
Man, I don't know. Because they got to be into it, because the ring ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? The ring is not for everybody. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like they got to be into it. I can't think of, because you already mentioned the guys that Frank and Darren, who I knew they already into it. It was like, I do see a couple guys. There be some guys that like Jet McKinnon. He played with the Chiefs last year, but he was a guy like I know when he was boxing, he looked pretty good too. Like I think he'd be good if he like wanted to transition over from NFL to boxing, but you have to take it so serious. Like you have to be locked in, but because that transition from the NFL was hard to get to boxing. Like that conditioning is different. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why you gotta be locked in. But skill wise, I think he could do it.
Has there been any more talk between you and Frank Gore about a possible matchup?
It hasn't. No, it hasn't. You know, we'll see, I guess. We'll see what happens one of these days.
Well, and of course, you're fighting on the Misfits card, which has CEO, KSI, and disrupting traditional boxing. But for someone like you, who you did have a successful professional athletic career, to now be getting on these cards, to have these fights that are on pay-per-view, on DAZN, do you think that these opportunities wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the people like Jake Paul, like KSI, like JMX you're fighting, coming in and really trying to change the culture around boxing?
Yeah, for sure. Like, they done brought so many different eyes to the sport of boxing. They help boxing out tremendously. You know what I'm saying? Like, even guys who not necessarily were boxers, but like crossover guys like me, like, okay, I didn't come up boxing because I came up playing football, but I was interested in boxing. Like, and they gave me the chance to go over and actually do it, you know what I'm saying, without having to step in with like a pro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could step in with Adrian Peterson, you know, and box him, you know, and I got to, you know what I'm saying, because the social media influenced guys, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, those guys did tremendous for, you know, the whole sport of boxing, you know, just not even just for the pros, but like the guys, the social media influencers, you know, the movie stars, the football players, whatever they do, they decide they want to step in the ring. I think guys like, you know, Jake and KSI They help like crazy. Like the worst can't even explain how much they help for sure.
Well, and of course, Jake literally just had a very big announcement that his next fight will be August 5th in Texas against none other than Nate Diaz, which is a fight that I think people have wanted to see between those two for a long time. So, what do we make of that fight? Because if anything, it will be a circus.
Yeah, I got Jake.
Really?
Yeah, I got Jake.
He's proven well against former UFC fighters, so.
I got Jake.
So then
that's what he fighting. He fighting Nate Diaz. He wanted to fight. So because they were talking about, I guess, it being a 2-fight deal or something. Like this was a long time ago, but I guess Jake was saying like, you box me, I'll fight you in an MMA ring or something, or I'll fight you in an octagon or something. Is that what they're doing? Because
there's talks about Jake's next fight against Nate being in the cage.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say that's the only way it got to make sense. I'm like, bro, why you just fight Tommy and then you go fight Nate Diaz? Because Nate Diaz, he's not gonna be like that in the ring. Let's be honest, he's not about to be like that. Tommy Fury, he was decent, but like Nate Fury's not about, or what's his name? Nate Diaz not about to be. Yeah, he's not about to be like that. But
it's gonna be a good fight. I've seen him ringside at a lot of Jake's fights. And he's very into it. So I think he's ready for the circus that surrounds it. So it's a fight that I'm definitely looking forward to. And I'm sure you'll be watching as well.
I'm definitely going to watch it. I just know Jake going to win.
Well, last question for you, because I know you've got a lot going on, but you do have your fight coming up on Friday, April 21st against JMX in New Orleans on the Misfits 6 card, streaming live on DAZN. What can fans expect to see from you in your second professional fight? What is your fight night prediction? And then, what else can we expect to see out of LeVeon Bell, who is doing just so many things? What is the next big thing that we've got coming from you?
Well, April 21st, definitely expect me to put on a show. It's gonna be spooky season. I'm going to shock a lot of people. I'm going to shock everybody, besides the people who really know me. And after the fight, be prepared for like a lot of music, a lot of merch. Obviously I got some gaming coming on. I'm a big Smash Brothers guy. So I'm gonna be hosting tournaments and things like that. So obviously stay on the tune for all those.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to seeing you back in the ring. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today. Good luck with the rest of your training and fight week. And hopefully we get to catch up again soon.
Most definitely. Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
Thank you.